Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Been sick over the last couple days, if you can't tell by my voice, but I put together a General Rieekan, Maz Kanata, and Padme deck. Haven't tested this deck out yet, but it's basically a mill deck, milling off the top of the deck mostly. We're running all these characters at just our normal cost, so we're running Rieekan at 12, running Maz at 8, and we're running Padme at 10. We're running the command center, so claim each opponent discards the top two cards of their deck. So again, let's take a look at Rieekan. So 11 health, focus, shield, 2 shield, resource and blank, and ability. After you activate this character, you may discard a card from the top of the opponent's deck for each of your other characters with one or more shields. So works best in a 3-character deck. So we're going to have shields on Maz and Padme, possibly on him. But whenever I roll him in, and if Maz and Padme have shields, I'll be discarding 2 cards off the top of their deck per activation. That's like the best case scenario for him, is discarding 2 cards per activation. He's got shield size and focus size, which is nice. Moving to Maz, so 8 health, 1 range damage, focus, shield, resource blank, and after you activate this character, you may resolve up to 2 of your dice. So we can roll her in, and then resolve maybe some of Rieekan's shields, maybe Padme's discard side or something like that. But she also has a shield side, so that's good because we can give shields to other characters with her. This deck doesn't really rely on damage, even though she does have that 1 damage side. Next is Padme, so we have 10 health, 2 focus, discard resource, 2 specials, and the blank, and special is discard the top card off an opponent's deck, or spend 1 resource to discard the top 2 cards off their deck. So between Rieekan milling cards off the top of the deck with his ability and Padme's special, we should be milling quite a few cards. Plus, our battlefield mills 2 cards as well. However, we really don't want that battlefield being used against us. So when we start the game, we are probably actually not going to take our battlefield. We'll instead take the shields on Maz and Padme, and we'll get to that in a second. So we're going to move into our upgrades. So first up, we have Cunning, so 2 of them. 2 resources, focus, disrupt, discard, resource, special blank. Special is to resolve the special ability on another card in play as if it were your card, and can only go on yellow characters. The other trick to the deck is the Ascension gun. This is why we don't want to be on our own battlefield. So if our opponents keep claiming, we're going to be losing cards off the top of our deck pretty much every round, unless we have the Ascension gun out. So Ascension gun, 2 resources. Let's say we're not playing on the command center. The special lets us use that ability as if you had just claimed it. So I can use the special on Ascension gun to mill 2 cards, and the only way my opponent is going to be able to use that battlefield is if they are also running Ascension guns. So Ascension guns cost 2, 1 range, 2 range, focus, 2 discard for a resource, the special and the blank. And again, the special is usability, claimability on a battlefield that has not been used as if you had just claimed it. Next up, we have 2 Con Artist, 2 resources, yellow character only, 2 disrupt, discard, 2 specials and the blank. Special is place 1 damage on this upgrade, then discard cards from the top of the opponent's deck equal to the amount of damage on this upgrade. So if there's 1, it mills 1, if there's 2, it mills 2, and so on. We can also use it with Cunning and things like that. And finally, we have 2 Second Chance. 3 resources, yellow character only. Before that character would be defeated, instead heal 5 damage from it and discard this upgrade from play. This will help us keep Padme and Maz alive longer, potentially. Let's go into our supports. There's 2 of them. We have 2 Spynet, 1 resource. After one of your dice rolls a focus, you may exhaust this support to discard a top card off an opponent's deck. So a lot of focus in this deck, a lot of dice that have focus on it. So we're going to exhaust this to mill 1 more card. And we have 2 Air Superiority. Air Superiority, 1 resource. After you play this support, place 3 shields on it. Exhaust this support to move 1 shield from it to a character. This will help keep Maz and Padme shielded, so Rieekan can more effectively use his ability to mill cards. Into our events, we have 2 Field Medic, just 1 resource, heal 2 damage from a character, pretty simple. We have Draw Attention, 0 resource cost, move up to 2 damage from one of your characters to another one, and it ignores shields. So if you want to keep a character alive, we can move shields damage off of it, and potentially trigger Second Chance if it's on a yellow character. 2 Strategic Planning, 1 resource, ready or exhaust the support. We can pay 1 to ready or exhaust, or for in our case, ready our Spynet or our Air Superiority. 2 Dug In, play only if you control the battlefield. and give free shields to your characters distributed as you wish. I'm not sure how often I'm going to be in control of the battlefield. I'm going to have to playtest this and see if this card is effective. If not, I'll switch it out for something else. I'm not sure what else to switch it out for yet at this point. I kind of want to run Diplomatic Community, but I also don't want to have to spend 4 resources to get it out because all my other 2 cost upgrades are upgrades I really want to stay in play. I don't really want to overwrite them, but we'll see how it goes. We have 2 flank, so 1 resource. Play only if you have more ready characters than an opponent. Remove one of that opponent's dice. So we have 3 characters. Playing against a 2 character deck and they roll out, I'll be able to flank away one of their dice. 2 electroshock. Spot the other character to remove a die showing a value of 2 or lower. We have 2 new orders, 2 resources. Switch the battlefield with a battlefield that is not being used, but was brought to the game and uses claim ability. So if we end up on our own battlefield, we really don't want to be there. We want to use Ascension Gun to trigger the ability and not have our opponents be able to claim it and mill cards. So if we are on the command center, we're going to switch it out with new orders. So we aren't going to get milled constantly. So if we're not on our battlefield throughout the entire game, we can discard these for rerolls and things like that. We have 2 All Quiet on the front, 1 resource. Remove any number of shields from your characters, then discard cards from the top of the opponent's deck equal to the number of shields just removed. So if your opponent's down to let's say their hand is empty, they have 3 cards left in their deck. You have 3 shields on your characters. Pay a resource, remove all those shields, and discard their last 3 cards, and win the game at the beginning of the next round due to them not being able to draw any cards. And we have 2 fate. 1 resource. Activate one of your characters, then you may remove all of its character and upgrade dice to ready it. So we're going to use this with Rieekan. So we're going to pay a resource, roll Rieekan out, have him mill cards equal to the number of shields. So let's say 2 other characters have shields. That's we're milling 2 cards right there. We can then remove his dice, ready his character, and the next turn roll him in again and be able to use that ability again, providing that those other 2 characters are still shielded. So, again, I apologize for my voice. I've been sick for the last few days, but this is just a quick deck I put together. I'm looking forward to testing it tomorrow at a local event. So, again, it's General Rieekan, Maz Kanata, and Padme, just 1 die of each. Command Center, and we're basically just trying to keep our characters shielded to use Rieekan's ability, as well as using other things like Spynet and Padme Special to mill cards off the top of an opponent's deck and just mill them out, and hopefully survive long enough with things like Field Medic, Draw Attention, and Second Chance to keep our characters alive long enough so that our opponent can be completely milled out of cards in their deck and in their hand. That's the deck. There'll be a list or a deck list in the description below. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.